Hey guys, it's Kane. I'm 24 years old and I'm a full-time investor as well as a financial coach. And today we're going to go over my personal stock holdings. Now, before we get started, go ahead and click that like button, leave me a comment, and if you like what I'm doing, go ahead and subscribe for more. So full disclosure, this is not financial advice. This is only for educational purposes. Do not take the advice of random people on the internet. All I'm going to tell you is what I am personally invested in, why I'm invested in them, and a little bit of what I look for when investing in companies. So first off, I don't day trade, I don't option trade, I don't get in and out of trades multiple times a day, week, month. I invest for the long term, okay? What I look for in companies are companies that are already in well-established sectors of the market, except they just do it a little bit better. Sounds simple, right? So I like to think of it like this. The easier, quicker, and cheaper a company can do something, the more money will flow into it because rich people want to stay rich and they want to get richer. This list is not in any particular order. It's not my favorite, my biggest, or anything like that. It's just the list, okay? Let's get started with my crypto exposure. Now, I know, I'm not a crypto bro. I'm not going all in on XO, whatever, okay? And I don't do a lot of different cryptos. I just stick to two because those are the ones that I actually understand slightly and that I see the best potential with risk management in them. And those are Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I do not buy crypto on exchanges. I buy them through just regular brokerage accounts in an ETF. Bitcoin, I use IBIT, which is BlackRock managed. They're the biggest asset investor in the world. And Ethereum through ETHA. Bitcoin is digital gold. It is a fixed supply. And in my opinion, it's also a hedge against inflation, dollar printing, and government overspending. Because regardless of who's in office, that is always going to occur. And your dollars are always going to be worth less tomorrow than they were today. Bitcoin mining can be added into existing infrastructure in the future to capture a lot of wasted energy because even right now there are massive amounts of wasted energy that are being produced by energy producers and they have nowhere to go, so it's just completely wasted. They lose money. If you lose money, you're going to figure out a way to not lose money. Okay? With AI, the demand for energy is going to increase tenfold over the next upcoming years. With this increase in energy demand, there will also be a subsequent increase in energy wasted. So I believe that Bitcoin mining can be added into these existing structures to help boost the profitability of energy. Do I think this is going to happen tomorrow, next week, or next month? No, I'm looking long term. Do I think that it's going to magically 100x tomorrow? No. Guys, if you make 30% a year, you're going to double your money every 2 years, okay? Save, invest, you will be rich one day. The second one is Ethereum. I believe that Ethereum will be used by financial institutions and companies and even individuals in order to move massive amounts of money. Because I know we've all been there. We've needed to move money from one account to the other, and we could either wait 5 days for it to transfer, or we could pay a 1 point whatever percentage fee to instantly move it. Well, that 1 whatever percent fee might not be a big deal to you, but when you're moving tens of billions or hundreds of billions of dollars, that adds up very quickly, especially if you're needing to move it multiple times. Ethereum allows for cheap, fast movement of money between institutions. And I believe that the more adoption that will be happening over the next few years, that will also increase the price. So that's why I'm invested in it. Now, I do not recommend going full 100% into cryptos. They're still new. They're very volatile. And if you can't stomach the ups and downs, don't touch them because we're not investing to sleep soundly. Okay. We're investing to retire early. Now, I had to redo this video because some of the stocks that I was invested in, I have trimmed significantly, and I've also added one. And I'm never going to say that I'm investing in a company whenever I myself am selling out of it. So that's why this video took so long, but I am going to be real and I'm going to be honest, and I will never tell y'all something that I'm not doing, or I'm never going to tell y'all something that I wouldn't do myself. So the first one, the first actual company that I've recently added, forgive me, I'm not going to pronounce the name right, but it's Fiserv. Fiserv, not Pfizer. The ticker's FI, okay? It's a financial payment, financial technology company. It supplies software, processing, and infrastructure to banks, credit union, merchants, and financial institutions. Many of their contracts are long-term or they're already built into the client's core systems, meaning they're already a part of things that are already moving. They're not trying to grow into some market that they have massive competition. They're not the little underdog just trying to get the little scraps. They're already big. They're already there. They're already established. The reason why I think that they're so good right now is check the stock price. They are down significantly when they have better earnings than they did the last time that they were at this price. They have recently announced a stablecoin initiative with partners in Circle and Pavos, I don't know how to say that. This could allow it to participate in digital currency, blockchain adjustment workflows, and analysts expect the revenue and earnings growth in the next coming years to be about 16 to 17% growth. That's almost double the S&P 500. They are also already partnered with MasterCard, which gives them access to over 150 active users. So they're producing new technologies that will grow their income and revenue, and the price is a significant discount in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. The next company is United Healthcare. I believe that healthcare will always continue to rise, and of course there's going to be winners to this. One of those is probably going to be the largest health insurer in America, which is United, or at least one of them. I also believe it's undervalued, especially compared to its previous prices. I believe its profitability will continue to increase, and its margins will also increase as well. They are using AI in claims processing, fraud detection, and care management. Their revenue of Q1 of 2025 was almost $110 billion. This was a gain of about $10 billion from the previous year. And again, stock price is significantly discounted. I have seen price targets anywhere from 375 all the way to 500, okay? Huge upside from right now. I believe it's practically a guarantee that healthcare will continue to get more and more expensive. Also, America has a large aging population, which old people need healthcare. It's just a fact of life. The more old people you get, no offense to the elders, but y'all are going to need to go to the hospital more. Heck, we got to go to the hospital more because we're all sick. Anyways. Another really big reason why I'm confident investing in it is because institutional traders or investors are also buying it. You know, the big dogs, the billionaires, the smartest smart people in the world, right? I have learned to follow the freaking money. If you have billionaires investing into something, it's at least worth looking into. Some of these are Warren Buffett, Vanguard, BlackRock, Fisher Asset Management, Capital Research, Global Investors, and Michael Burry. He's the one that predicted the 2008 housing crisis. My next company is going to be Tesla. Tesla is not a car company. It is a data and technology company. And I see and understand many of the arguments saying that the valuation is extremely rich, and I would agree if you're only comparing it to the amount of auto sales. However, I believe the technology Tesla is developing is going to add massive amounts of value to the future of autonomous driving. I think that Tesla is ahead of the competition in this regard, and I also believe that they're venturing into humanoid robotics such as the Optimus. They also are going to have subscription-based models for other companies to use. They have been rolling out the They have been rolling out the robo-taxi services in Austin, Texas, and they plan to expand to other cities. They are also involved in renewable resources such as solar panels, batteries, etc. One of the biggest reasons why I believe in Tesla for at least the next 10 years is the proposed pay package that they have for Elon Musk. And if Elon wants to get paid the maximum amount in his shares, he will have to expand the market cap of the company to about $8 trillion. Now, just multiply or divide 8 trillion by 1.5 trillion. That's the percentage gain in the next 10 years. It's pretty freaking good. So not all of the information on this pay package is public, but we do know that the top two packages include 20 million total Tesla vehicles delivered and 10 million paying full-time self-driving subscriptions. Also, over 1 million bots, humanoid robots, delivered and 1 million robo-taxis in commercial operation. I don't believe it's a smart decision to bet against Elon Musk, whether you love him or hate him. But he's always been capable with all of his adventures and companies, and I have faith that he will continue to be. So I have grouped the next few stocks together because they're all about AI, chips, infrastructure, stuff like that. Now, one of the reasons why this video took me so long to get out is after I made the first video, I had to trim my exposure to these significantly because I have not lost faith in it, but I do think the valuations are starting to get a bit rich. And over the past few days, AMD had a 30% gain because they announced a deal that they had with OpenAI. So take it from me as a 24-year-old full-time investor. If one of your picks makes 30% in a day, you make the freaking money, okay? You sell some of that and make sure that you're holding on to some of those profits. 30% in a month in a great growth company, you might not trim it as much, but I trimmed my exposure significantly, and I was not comfortable putting out a video saying that this was my holdings whenever I was actually selling. That didn't sit right with me. I'm not saying to sell out of it, it's still a holding, but it is nowhere close to what it was. So these 4 companies are NVIDIA, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, and Intel. So I believe that AI in time, maybe not today, but over time, will significantly change basically everything. It is going to be a part of every single factor of our life. And of course, the people who are going to benefit most are the ones designing, manufacturing, or just coming up with the chips for these. Chips are used to either be the brain of AI or to train AI. NVIDIA is currently the largest company in the world, and it does have the advantage of being the most high-end. However, AMD is focused more on value. And once NVIDIA can no longer keep up with demand, people will have to go to AMD. I used to believe it was undervalued. I do believe it is still slightly undervalued. However, after a 30% pop, you really need to take a step back and look at what you think the long-term gains are going to be. Taiwan Semiconductor are the actual physical manufacturer of these chips. So NVIDIA designs the chips and then Taiwan builds them. Okay, so the more chips you need, of course, the people building them are going to be helped. Now, there's some risk to that with it being in Taiwan and the Chinese and all that. So again, do your own research and make sure that you understand the risk. Intel, I get it. A lot of people don't like the fact that the United States government took a stake in it, and I understand that. However, I don't think that we need to bet against the United States government, at least in a sense of they're not going to let the companies fail. I mean, just go back to every single major market crash. They always bail everyone out. They don't bail us out, but they will bail the freaking companies out. So if they are taking a stake in a company, I think it is a fairly safe bet to at least give that company a little bit of love, if you will. NVIDIA had also bought a 4% stake in Intel so they can team up to create products. And so, yeah, these are my AI holdings. So my next company is Robinhood. I believe Robinhood is an amazing long-term investment. While they are massively growing their assets under management, they are also diversifying the revenue streams and adding prediction markets, sports betting, etc. onto their platform. Their assets under management are close to $200 billion. This has doubled over the last year. The Robinhood Gold subscriptions were 3.5 million users. That is a 75% growth year over year. Their total net revenue is close to $1 billion. That is a 50% year over year change. Robinhood is making it easier for normal people to start investing. They also provide a multitude of services that are amazing for them to generate revenue off the platform. I also believe that they are going to be adding even more and more features over the next upcoming 6 to 12 months. I believe with these features, they are going to capture most of the younger audience whenever it comes to investing. Because as the older generations pass away, the younger inherit, or just whatever. And most of them want to be smart with their money and not just gamble it on whatever the crap most stupid 20-year-olds are doing. They want to actually invest it and have something whenever they retire. I believe Robinhood is going to capture a significant portion of these young people. So Palantir. Now, this is also one that I have trimmed my exposure to significantly. I don't think that it's going to stop growing. However, I do believe the valuations are a little rich right now for me to have a massive amount of my portfolio in it. So what's Palantir? It is a company that makes AI software that helps organizations collect, organize, and analyze huge amounts of data so they can make smarter decisions. Since they are a software company, they are able to have an extremely high profit margin. This year, their profit margin increased from 10% to over 30%. Their net revenues are now over $1 billion, and that's a 50% increase from the previous year. They also hold decade-long contracts with the U.S. government and their allies. They are deeply entrenched in intelligence, defense, and securities. These are areas that are very unlikely to shrink, especially given the global climate right now. And I do get that some people don't like Palantir because they spy on us. Well, time to grow up, boys and girls. The government has always spied on us. We can either sit in the corner playing with our Legos and complain and cry about the world, or we can be an adult and try to make our life a little bit better by investing in these companies. So if you don't want to do that, go back to your Lincoln Logs and go cry in the corner. Me and the rest of the adults are going to be out here investing, making money, and actually building a better life for ourselves. These next two companies I will also group together because, one, they're more of a short-term thing. I have only been buying them this year and not holding them for years like some of the other holdings. And also, they are a bet on future rate cuts. So they're kind of two sides of the same coin. This is SoFi and Rocket Mortgage. Now, SoFi is a company that I recently, in the past few days, have increased my exposure to pretty significantly. I believe they're undervalued, and I believe that they will be helped out by rate cuts pretty significantly. So I hold these companies because I believe in the upcoming year, interest rates are going to have to be dropped. SoFi provides debt consolidation programs and is a fully online digital bank that is becoming more and more popular with younger generations as they think about, interest rates lowering and just wanting to put their money somewhere. A lot of people will want to refinance their loans and debt, and I believe SoFi will be a big benefactor of this. Rocket Mortgage is another play on this. They have been massively expanding their outreach, and by some estimates, they are involved with 1 in 6 mortgages in America. And again, as interest rates come down, people will want to refinance their house, and when they do that, whoever they're doing this with is going to receive a fee, which is revenue, money, they'll make profit. That's why I believe that these are really, really good, especially in the next upcoming year or two. My next company is HIMS, H-I-M-S. They're basically online healthcare. Kind of think of them as the Amazon of telehealth. The biggest advantage of them is if you have some embarrassing conditions, let's say balding or ED or just any type of, issues that you don't exactly love to go talk to a doctor face-to-face about, you're able to do this online without having to go through any of that embarrassment. This makes them a lot more desirable than ordinary hospitals. Also, a large part of their business actually runs on subscriptions, which that's just a reoccurring revenue model, meaning they will continue to get paid month over month. This creates a predictable revenue stream that Wall Street investors absolutely love. They are also expanding into big markets. They just started with men's health, and now they're venturing into women's health, which that doubles the available markets and products. They are already an established brand with really good marketing because I know we've all seen those commercials either online or on the TV about HIMS. So they're very recognizable. And I also believe that they are positioned very good in a very expensive market, which is healthcare. And they have advantages that other people don't. Well, that's it. That is, as of right now, my entire portfolio. And like I said, this video took me a while because I had to completely reshoot it and redo the script and everything because I didn't want to tell y'all something that wasn't immediately true. So I really hope that y'all like this, and remember, this was not financial advice. This is just educational purposes, just me telling you what I'm doing. Do your own research. If you liked the video, leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more. Thank y'all.